The scariest part of getting my PhD. The first scary part for me was my application process. At that point, it was pretty much hard to articulate these things together because I was like, I wanted to get funding, and then to write a proposal, and then to get a supervisor. Not just one supervisor, obviously. It depends on what institution you're in. So usually you could have about 2 to 3 supervisors or even 4 supervisors. But for Coventry University at the time, it was 3 supervisors I needed. So I'm like, can I do this? Can I convince 3 people that my research is good enough for them to supervise me? And in this process, it was pretty much, very, very disturbing because I couldn't get the best of what I necessarily wanted. Obviously, it wasn't just one university I did apply to, but there was always like one reason or the other. For example, I applied to, I'm not going to mention universities here, so I applied to a particular university and I was hoping to get funding with that university. Unfortunately, I couldn't get funded at that university, so automatically I am not attending that university because it's a bit pricey. Not a bit pricey, it's actually really, 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 really pricey. So it's pretty much, it was like a rigorous process for me. And a lot of PhDs as well, a lot of PhD students actually do experience the same thing because they actually want to get funded. It's pretty much a lot of money to pay, depending on how long or how many years you're going to spend doing your PhD. So you could literally spend 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you're going to be committed to that financial stress if you haven't got the luxury. You get what I mean? Right, so the second phase is something I got into the PhD and then I started the PhD, but the second phase actually, I wouldn't say threw me off my feet because at the time I started my PhD, I was very energetic. I was like, I had to smash this because it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, I really wanted it. It was something I've always dreamt, I've always dreamt of. So it was like a dream come true for me. So definitely I had to grab it, because I really, really appreciated it and all that. And I understood I had to do a PRP every 9 months. That's how Coventry University does it. So I'm not too sure about what university you are in or what university you're about to go into. But they usually have about like a scheme that, says you need to literally, defend your thesis or defend your writing on what you've done. You have like an agreed deliverable with your supervisors and then you submit that to the doctoral college. So it's pretty much a process, and then, trying to develop your activities. So they have like different requirements, but I was pretty much okay with all of those requirements. But having to defend my thesis for the first time during my first year, I wasn't necessarily sure of what was expected of me. And that sort of threw me off my feet initially. And, I put in so much hard work because obviously I don't want to disappoint myself. I need to get the best out of this. But it was good. But that's a major fear. That's like a major problem like a lot of PhDs actually do encounter because, you're always on your feet at that particular time. It's just like defending to experts of the subject and you're not necessarily sure what questions you're going to ask you. Obviously, it's not the Viva, which is like the biggest one. Third scariest part is actually the Viva. This makes me go, I'm going to have my Viva soon. And I'm just like, fingers crossed, because that way you have like an external. It's just very, very much detailed and rigorous. It's like a rigorous process. And that's like the last phase you have to go through to say, okay, yes, you've got a PhD, you've got a doctorate, and you're good to go. So there's only 3 major things that are like the scary part of it for me. So once I was able to, smash off with my application process, kickstart on the PhD game. In the PhD game, having to do my defense at every 9 months, And the last phase I'm really, really looking forward to is the Viva. So it's pretty much those 3 scariest parts for me. You can share yours, and feel free to comment below, thumbs up, subscribe, check out my other videos and all of those things. And I hope to see you guys soon.